Hello students. Here let me complete the evidences for evolution where in that the last evidence we have completed in the previous session, that is biogeographical evidences and as well not completed, little more one more topic is remaining. So let us see the next then we discussed about some of the examples to support the natural selection. One example was the industrial melanism found in the England, where there was a substantial increase in the number of melanized moth after the post-industrialization process due to the reason is that lichen started to get decrease in their population due to the soot particles released from the industries. Likewise, another example is to show that evolution can also resulted as a result of processes and materials which is released as by action of human beings. So human beings also started to experiment on organisms as well as on the plants as well as some of the plants as well as some of other species. So one example to show that anthropogenic action. So that action we call it as anthropogenic action. One example is DDT resistant among mosquitoes. So and as one more example is mutant microbe. So this evolution of these resistant varieties among these organisms will happen within months or years. Okay, because as their lifespan is very less. So there in this case, the evolution of new species will occur very fastly as well as, so they develop among these, those organisms which could bring some of the changes in their adaptation and who can survive better in that new environment has increased their populations, and in the environment we can see their population is more because as a result of their survival among the fittest they got selected by the nature. So also one more point to argue here is that evolution is a stochastic process. It is not determined, it is not predetermined, okay, it is not directed. So evolution is a stochastic process and it is based on the chance mutation in organism and chance events in the nature. So that evolution is based on chance mutation in organism and chance events in the nature. So this is what the anthropogenic action means. So let us continue with the fourth evidence for the evolution. It is biogeographical evidence. So biogeographical evidence, already I told you what is biogeography. It is a pattern of distribution of plants and animals on different parts of the earth. And this biogeography also helps us to understand the evolutionary interrelationship between the organisms. And biogeographical evidence is based on the study of Charles Darwin, who studied the various organisms of Galapagos Islands. This scientist Charles Darwin is also called as a naturalist who went on a voyage in a ship called as HMS Beagle, and for 5 years he was observing some of the geological features as well as he was studying some of the organisms present on some of the different parts of the earth. And he made a study on the Galapagos Islands. From this, he brought a concept called as Darwin's finches, which supported his survival of the fittest. So he under the theory of natural selection is supported by the two examples, Darwin's finches and adaptive radiation. So Darwin, his main study and who stressed on evolution by natural selection. He has found that these Galapagos Islands. So let me talk about these Darwin's finches first. So Charles Darwin, he observed in the Galapagos Island. These islands is found in near the Pacific Ocean, which are volcanic islands which have a rich variety of species of plants and animals. So biodiversity is rich in these areas. So when he did a study on these Galapagos Islands, he observed that in that area, the woodpecker or some warbler, usually insect-eating warbler or woodpeckers were common. But in this area, those birds were not there. But whereas some small-sized black-colored birds were more, and he could see the varieties of these dark black-colored birds. And later, that small dark-colored birds were called as finches. Later it was called as Darwin's finches itself. That bird is, in short, it is called as finches. So Charles Darwin found that Galapagos Islands have many endemic species of plants and animals. Okay, so usually that land is rich of diversity. And in that, we could see some of the species which is endemic to that particular area. That means that species can be found only in that area, cannot be seen anywhere. So in the Galapagos Islands, those islands were have rich with some of the endemic species. And he noticed that in that insect-eating warblers and woodpeckers were not there, but there were a small sized black colored birds were there, noticed more, and these birds he called it as finches. Later now we call these birds itself as a Darwin's finches itself. Now he could observe almost around 20 varieties of Darwin's finches were observed there. Okay, in that same island, he could observe the varieties of these finches were there. But these varieties of birds were having some similar features, but they were varying with respect to their size and with their beak shape. Okay, so Darwin found that these finches found on the different islands of Galapagos Islands with the varied environmental conditions differs mainly one another, mainly in size and beak shape. Why? Because due to their different adaptive needs. Okay, why they were different according to their morphology, according to their with their beak size, because they got adapted to the different environment conditions. So according to their environmental conditions, they developed their shape of the beak which suits for their feeding habits. So here we can make diagram. So I will draw a diagram which makes you clear about this Darwin's finches. So this Darwin's finches, okay, so what is special of these Darwin's finches is that they were closely related to each other. Okay, they were very closely related to each other, but with respect to their size and some beak features were different, but all other features were similar, and that shown that they have origin from the common ancestor. Their origin is same. So they were evolved from the same island having different adaptive needs. So actually they have developed from a ground seed-eating bird. First, there were almost around 20 varieties he observed. So originally, these finches have developed from the seed-eating ground finch. There was seed-eating ground finches, and these all birds, they found in the South America. Okay, they found in the South America. From this, there was another type of one kind of bird which was adapted for the cactus ground finch. was cactus, ground finch, then another bird which was insectivorous type. So insectivorous type will have little sharp and pointed beak. Then also there was a woodpecker kind of bird beak also there. Then there was also a vegetarian tree type, that means which can feed on fruits and nuts. Then also there was a warbler kind of finch were also there. So the types of birds he could identify here were, what were the types? So here you can see the wide varieties of the finches have developed from the common seed-eating ground finch. So what were the types? That was insectivorous type, insectivorous finch, then woodpecker finch, then vegetarian finch, then there was warbler finch. So altogether around 20 varieties of finches were observed in that same island. So this has supported the idea is that these birds have developed, these varieties of these finches have developed from the common ancestor, that is seed-eating ground finch. Okay, so this evidence argues that this finches has developed, they are radiated to different geographical areas to different needs, because when they accumulate in this common area, when they accumulate in the same area, there will be competition for the resources. So to avoid that competition for the food resources, they started to develop some changes in their beak shape so that survive better. So that's why even though they have shares a common ancestor, but they are having different beak size and morphology, and this supports the theory of natural selection, and it is also an example for adaptive radiation. So what is adaptive radiation? Let us understand now what is adaptive radiation. So Darwin's finches is also an example for adaptive radiation. Again, you are going to study the adaptive radiation in marsupial animals of Australia, and also the placental mammals and marsupials of Australia, that also there. Now Darwin's finches also supports the adaptive radiation. So adaptive radiation, it is an evolutionary process. It is an evolutionary process. It is an evolutionary process in a geographical area. It is an evolutionary process in a geographical area starting from a common point and giving rise to new species adapted to the new habitats, adapted to new habitats. Why they adapted to new habitat? Due to natural selection. Due to natural selection. Due to adapted to different habitats. Also you can add also to and new ways of life due to natural selection. And this is called as adaptive radiation. So adaptive radiation, it is an evolutionary process in an geographical area starting from a common point and giving rise to new species which is adapted to that new habitat and new ways of life, and it is due to natural selection. In textbook you can see different definition which finds more easy that you can take. Okay, so what is adaptive radiation, you got clear. So let us understand next about the second example for this adaptive radiation among marsupials. So did you got clear about this topic? So we have discussed about the biogeographical evidence in which we have learned about the Darwin's finches and adaptive radiation, where Darwin's finches, it was a study made by Charles Darwin during his voyage. So he observed in the Galapagos Islands, which was a rich with the variety of endemic species of plants and animals. There he could see there was a small sized bird with a dark color, and later that bird were called as Darwin's finches. So in that there were 20 varieties of birds, around 20. It's not exact 20. So around 20 varieties of birds were there. So all these birds differs with their morphology and with their beak structure. Okay, with their size and only 1-2 changes they could see with the size and with their beak. So originally, from this observation, so while analyzing that birds, we could come to know that we could study that these birds, the variety of birds, have developed from a common seed-eating ground finch. Okay, this was found in the South America, this study, these birds were found in that region. So here, what were the types of birds have developed from this common seed-eating ground finch? So this was the ancestor for this. So from this, there was a cactus ground finch were there, which feeds on the cactus plant, and some finches were feeding on the insects, and some birds, that is finches, were developed like a woodpecker kind of bird, then finch, then next, it's not a bird, so you can call it as finch itself. Then some of them developed as a vegetarian finch, and some of them developed as a warbler finch. So this is also an example for adaptive radiation, because due to some of the evolutionary process, when they move to the different geological area or different geographical areas, they started to develop different features, and they have adapted to the new habitat, and this is due to the natural selection. And this idea is supported by Charles Darwin in his theory of natural selection. Okay, now another example is adaptive radiation in marsupials. Okay, you can see in your textbook, okay, in a page number 133. Okay, so this is another example for adaptive radiation. See, you can see what is a marsupials? First of all, marsupials is a kind of animals which have a pouches in their stomach to carry the young ones during their infancy. So you know that marsupials are richly found in Australia. They mainly found in the Australia. So in that Australia, in that from that one same category, that is marsupial, we call it as marsupial radiation, because from that marsupial types, varieties of the marsupial types of animals have developed. You can see there is a Tasmanian wolf, tiger cat, so banded and anteater, then marsupial rat, kangaroo, then wombat, then bandicoot, then koala, then marsupial mole, then sugar glider. So here each of them have different from other, have developed from the same ancestral stock. Okay, so that means they have started from the common point. Okay, they all have the common ancestor stock, where they have the same ancestral stock, but radiated to the different geographical areas, but thereby they started to develop different structures. So this gives a clue that they have developed as part of adaptive radiation. So did you clear about this much? So here we have, it's important as well as what is adaptive radiation definition used to come for the exam, and as well as Darwin's finches also important. So let us understand next example. It is placental mammals and Australian marsupials. So it is an example for parallel evolution. Placental mammals and marsupial animals of Australia. So adaptive radiation is of two types. What were the two types we understood adaptive radiation? Adaptive radiation is of two types, that is adaptive divergence and adaptive convergence. So adaptive radiation can be of two types, that is adaptive convergence. So divergence we already studied, so let me write that first. Adaptive divergence and adaptive convergence. So once we understood in the marsupials of Australia, they all had shared the common ancestral stock. So here adaptive divergence means animals of same species. Adaptive divergence means animals of same species which are closely related to each other, group exhibit greater divergence. Why do they develop this divergence, greater divergence? In their morphology, when they find in their different habitat, when they found in different habitat. Example is Darwin's finches. Okay, Darwin's finches, as well as one more example is another example was marsupials of Australia. So adaptive divergence states that animals, according to this, animals of same species which are close related. For example, Darwin's finches, they were all similar. They belongs to the same category. They were when they exhibit their divergence in their morphology, when they will exhibit the divergence with respect to their morphology, that is with respect to their size and with respect to the shape of the beak, when they found in the different habitat. Now in the next is adaptive convergence, which shows that, says the animals of unrelated groups occupying same habitat exhibit common features. They'll exhibit common features. Example is adaptive adaptive divergence in adaptive radiation in Australian marsupials and Australian mammals and placental mammals. And placental mammals. So this is an example for adaptive convergence. So that example we will discuss in the next video. So in this video we have understood about the Darwin's finches and adaptive radiation. Adaptive radiation is of two types, divergence and adaptive convergence. What you have studied about the homologous organs, that is analogous organs, convergent evolution and divergent evolution. Similarly here it is adaptive divergence and adaptive convergence. Adaptive divergence, example for this is Darwin's finches. For adaptive convergence, example is for adaptive divergence in the case of Australian mammals and placental mammals of Australia. So this we will discuss in the next video. So we will see in the next video. So please go through this with the examples and refer your textbook to know more about those animals with diagram. Thank you.